From unsolved mysteries to unexplained phenomena, from comedy gold to relationship fails, Amazon Music's got the most ad-free top podcasts, included with Prime. Because the only thing that should interrupt your listening is, well, nothing. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, here's the deal. Most websites, they just don't work. They're like outdated billboards out there in the middle of the desert on a horse with no name. And here it is, the weary traveler out there looking for help. But all the billboard does is mutter the same words over and over and over again. So, have a website? Do you want to know what you can do right now to make your website far more effective? Yeah? Then stay tuned and find out.
Being an entrepreneur sounds like, yes, another new client. I did it. But it can also sound like, I am really not understanding this technology, and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Am I even cut out for this? That's why I started the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, to help infopreneurs, coaches, and course creators who want to build a business online but are battling technology, overwhelm, procrastination, and even imposter syndrome. Think successfully, think differently, think bigger, and take action by learning tips from an array of business owners, all dropping knowledge on the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
What is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another dose of website conversion learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and as many of you know, been in the coaching and course creation online space since like the 90s, so I got a little experience under my belt. But here's the thing, here I am still learning. However, the question becomes, who are you? And to me, my friend, the answer to that is infinitely more important because I believe you are a driven entrepreneur. Perhaps even an infopreneur that's here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, and just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. And as we get out there and we start building our empires, especially in the digital space, we're going to have a website. Now, we're going to chat about the 3 things that make your website convert better. Now, I'm going to be using the word convert loosely here because, let's be honest, I'm on this side of the microphone and I may not have met you personally, so I really don't know what the goal of your website is. It could be to get subscribers. It could be it's just out there to inform your readers. Maybe it's to make sales or drive traffic to other offers. None of that. Let me say that again. None of that is ever going to happen if you don't get awesomely good about the 3 things I'm going to cover in this episode. 1, 2, 3. Not too hard. We're not going to get overcomplicated into 10 amazing things. No, just 3. And here's the thing. Most websites don't work. As I said, they're like these outdated billboards in the middle of the desert on a horse with no name, while that weary traveler on that horse with no name is, in fact, passing by, looking for help, but all the damn billboard does is mutter the same words over and over and over again. So, driving traffic to a website, here's the thing. If you drive traffic to a website that's not working, it's pointless. You may as well just waste your time. See, the thing is, if your site isn't converting much of anyone, sending 10 times or 100 times even more traffic, it's not going to help. So the question becomes, what can you do right now to make your website more effective? Well, let's chat about that. And you definitely want to stick around for number 3 here. But let's get ahead of myself, right? Let's talk about the first one. Number 1, change your thinking and relax. Now, let's see if I can read your mind. You want to get your website just right. I mean, it needs to be perfect, right? Every word, every page, every font, every color must be the best. Then, and only then, will your website finally be finished. Except your website, my friend, will never, ever be finished. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can relax, and simply work on improving your site. Look, there's no need to overcomplicate this or overthink your website, right? You don't need to agonize on all the tiny little details. And you certainly don't need to put the kind of crazy pressure on yourself that you're probably putting on there that says you must get this done perfectly. No, here's the thing. There is no perfect. There will always be flaws. There may even be a typo. It's okay. Take a breath, relax, and think of your website as a perpetual work in progress. That's what it is, after all, right? You can exchange your desired perfection to a new keen interest in testing and improving, right? Just go ahead, maybe even hire yourself a website designer if you like. An experienced website designer will take you further, faster than you might get on your own. Now think of this, think of it as a massive head start, but let's be honest, maybe it's just the beginning. You'll need to add things. You'll need to change things. You'll need to try new things. You'll need to test, and then you'll need to test some more. You'll add content that addresses your customers' questions, and add more content that teaches, and add still more content that sells. Then you'll adjust your bio and your contact page. Then you'll add your landing page, everything. Test, update, test some more. Here's the thing. It's a journey. You'll never get it perfected, but you will get it better and better and better over time. And that's enough, isn't it? All right. Number 2, keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method. How many times have you visited a site only to become insanely frustrated by some fancy schmancy design that irritates more than it helps? Yeah? Yeah, I know I've done this way too often. And my user reaction is exit. And I'm just going to bail out and figure out what the heck I'm going to... Here's the thing. They probably found you from a search. That's usually, 85% of the time when they're going to find you. And if you make it difficult for them, they're going to exit. And they're going to go to the next person down on the search results. Websites are about one thing: communication. The overly complicated designs cost more money, take more time, and make it way more difficult to communicate with those who land on your website. Now, in the beginning, the core set of web pages you're typically going to need are your home page, an about page, a contact page, and maybe, a page for your products and services. That's it, right? You're choosing your design, or when choosing your design, let's keep it simple, stupid. I'm not trying to offend, I'm just trying to be real with you. Resist the urge to add all this clutter and all these whizzy-gigs and fandangles onto a single page. Let's think about it this way. You're sitting in your car. Do you want a dashboard covered in junk to distract you from what's happening on the other side of the windshield? No, you don't. You want a clean, clear, unobstructed view of what's most important to you, which is the road ahead of you, right? So avoid writing in fancy businessese unless that's the language your specific target audience uses all the time. There's no reason to use jargon or big words when little ones will do. No one wants to read a lot of corporate speak. You know what I'm talking about. All that highfalutin sounding rhetoric doesn't mean anything to the average person. You can simply write it like you're talking to your best friend, or maybe your mom or your daughter. Again, this depends on your audience. Let your writing, and he's going to do air quotes here, let your writing speak to your customer. Don't be boring, right? I try not to be boring here. Here we are. We're almost 10 minutes in, and hopefully you're hanging in with me, so don't be boring. In fact, be anything but boring. Generic content will just make people click away. Just like before, they'll go to the next person on the web search results. If possible, jam in a little humor. Yeah, just pop it right on in there. Make them laugh, make them giggle. And while you should always take your customers seriously, there is no need whatsoever to take yourself seriously. Go ahead, poke a little fun at yourself. I mean, if it makes sense to do so. I mean, don't poke yourself just to poke yourself because you might get a rash. Anyway, and hopefully maybe you make your readers smile and you relax them a little bit, which will cause them to read some more. Talk about some of the problems you've had. Talk about some of the problems you've solved for your customers. Talk about how you solved them. And then you can talk about some of the features of your products. Because now, if they're still listening or reading at that point, they're interested. Now you can get into the features. Show that you understand your customers by using your own words when describing their problems. If you can get a reader to say, yeah, she knows exactly what my problem is, and that's exactly how it's affected me, then you're halfway there, my friend. And now number 3, this is one y'all been waiting for. You're gonna love this one. He says with tongue-in-cheek, most of you are not gonna like this one, but it's very important. Number 3, use your stats to make your improvements. Yeah, right? So I kind of grazed over A/B testing earlier because you're going to test and you're going to test again. Your stats are going to be the things that tell you what it is you need to change. There are only 2 core sets of stats that you need to focus on in the beginning. Later, of course, as you get more experience, you'll start paying attention to other stats. But first, here's what you need to do. Get a free Google account, the Google Analytics account, right? Now you're going to look at 2 things. No. Not the traffic. No, wait for me. The 2 things you're going to pay attention to is the average time users are spending on your page, which is also called the average engagement time. And of course, then the number of users. You probably want to look at them in that order because in the beginning, the number of users is going to be low. 2, 10, 50, right? So while you're even getting 50 people to pay attention to your website, how long are they paying attention? Remember, your website is a journey, not a destination. Yeah, it's a work in progress. And to know how to improve it, you're going to need to know how long those folks are staying on your page. Log into your analytics. Find the graph on the first page that shows you the average time they're spending on your page. This is a measure of how effective your website is at communicating. Are the people bouncing off of your page in less than 30 seconds? In less than 5 seconds? Yeah, then you've got some work to do. If they're spending a minute or 2 or more, then you're doing pretty good. But if you don't know these stats in the first place, then you have no idea what you need to improve. And if you're spending money on advertising, but people are spending less than 30 seconds on your site, yeah, you may as well just light that sucker up and burn that money in your kitchen sink. Improving the average engagement time. Spend your money, spend your time there before you start buying advertising. Now, what if people are spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes or more on your site, but you're still not getting that many visitors? Well, now it's time to flip the script and you start buying some advertising. Little Google ads, little Facebook ads, little TikTok ads. Just start finding a way to drive traffic to your site because you've already figured out how to get them to hang out a while longer once they get there. Your goal with your website is to simply make consistent and steady improvements over time. It's never going to be perfect. I'm going to remind you of that again. But while it's never going to be perfect, it never needs to be complicated. And as I said before, it will never truly be finished. Hopefully knowing that makes it a little easier for you to relax and just get busy testing. Try the new changes. See the results. Improve your site. See the results. Change a color. Change a font. Add new information to find that magic mix that works for you. And it can work for you 24/7 at earning you a new business. All right. I'm going to leave that right there. Hopefully you found those helpful. Next time, we're going to talk about why Facebook made the platform angrier. And with that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.